6 months ago, my ex-girlfriend died. I found out through a mutual friend's Facebook post. Victoria Chen, 34 years old, gone from a brain aneurysm. Sudden, no warning. One day she was a successful tech executive in Manhattan, and the next day she was gone. I hadn't spoken to Victoria in 5 years. We dated in college, Boston University. We were together for 3 years. She was a computer science major with dreams of changing the world. I was an English major who wanted to teach high school. We were in love. Young love, the kind where you stay up all night talking about philosophy and the future. We broke up 8 years ago. It was amicable. She got a job offer in New York City at a tech startup. I got into a teaching program in Boston. We wanted different lives. She wanted the corner office and the 6-figure salary. I wanted a classroom full of teenagers and the satisfaction of watching someone understand Shakespeare for the first time. We said goodbye. We promised to stay friends. And for a while, we did. We texted occasionally. We liked each other's Instagram posts. But over time, the messages got less frequent. Life moved on. She got promoted. I got my teaching license. She got married. I stayed single and mostly happy. When I saw the post about her death, I cried. Not the sobbing, world-ending kind of crying. Just the quiet, sad kind. The kind where you mourn the loss of someone who used to matter, even though they haven't been part of your life in years. I didn't go to the funeral. It didn't feel appropriate. I was the ex from 8 years ago. She had a wife. A life I knew nothing about. I sent a sympathy card to the address listed in the obituary. I wrote something generic about how Victoria was brilliant and kind and would be missed. I signed my name. I moved on. That was 6 months ago. Today, I am sitting in a lawyer's office in Manhattan. I have no idea why I am here. The email came a week ago. It was formal and vague. It said my presence was required for the reading of Victoria Chen's will. It gave me a date and time and an address in Midtown. It did not give me any explanation. I assumed it was a mistake. Maybe Victoria had left me something small, a book, a photo, something sentimental from our college days. I almost didn't come. I have school. I have lesson plans to write. I have a life in Boston. But curiosity got the better of me. So here I am, sitting in a conference room with dark wood furniture and floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. The lawyer, a man in his 50s with gray hair and an expensive suit, is sitting at the head of the table. There is one other person in the room, a woman, mid-30s, elegant in the way that people who belong in Manhattan are elegant. She is wearing all black, a black dress that probably costs more than my monthly rent. Her hair is dark and pulled back. Her eyes are red, but her face is composed. She looks like grief wearing a designer label. I know who she is without being told. This is Natasha, Victoria's wife. I saw her in the funeral photos that were posted online. She looks smaller in person, more fragile. She has not looked at me once since I walked in. The lawyer clears his throat. Ms. Blake, Ms. Volkoff, thank you for being here. I know this is difficult. I will keep this brief. He opens a folder and pulls out papers. Victoria Chen's will was executed in accordance with New York state law. The estate, after taxes and fees, is valued at approximately $4.2 million. I blink. $4.2 million. I knew Victoria was successful, but I had no idea she was that successful. The lawyer continues. The estate is to be divided as follows: 60% to Natasha Volkoff, her spouse. 40% to Jordan Blake. The room goes silent. I hear the words, but they don't make sense. 40%. 4.2 million. 40% is. I do math in my head. $1.7 million. I'm sorry, I say. My voice sounds strange. There must be a mistake. We broke up 8 years ago. I haven't spoken to her in 5 years. She was married. The lawyer looks at me over his glasses. There is no mistake. The will was updated 4 months before her death. Quite deliberately, I stare at him. I feel like I am underwater. Everything is muffled and slow. Then Natasha speaks for the first time. Her voice is cold, precise, like a knife. I would like to know that too, she says. My wife left nearly half her fortune to a woman she never mentioned, a woman who was not at her funeral, so either you manipulated a dying woman or you were having an affair. Which was it? I turn to look at her. Her eyes are hard, angry, grieving. I haven't spoken to Victoria in 5 years, I say. I didn't even know she was sick. Was she sick? Natasha's jaw tightens. She died of a brain aneurysm. Sudden. No warning. So you tell me why, 4 months before that, she changed her will to include you. I have no idea, I say. I don't want the money. This is obviously a mistake. It is not a mistake, Natasha says, standing up. It is an insult. To her memory, and to me. My lawyer will be contesting this. She picks up her bag and walks out. The door closes behind her with a soft click. I sit there, staring at the papers in front of me. Papers that say I am suddenly wealthy. Papers that I do not understand. The lawyer hands me a business card. If you have questions, he says, you can reach me here. I take the card. I leave the office. I walk out onto the street in a daze. People are rushing past me. Taxis are honking. The city is loud and bright and overwhelming. I pull out my phone. I open my messages. I scroll back 5 years to the last text Victoria sent me. It was an article about the importance of English teachers in the digital age. She had written, "Thought of you." I had responded, "Thanks." She had liked the message. That was it. That was the last contact we had. Why would she leave me $1.7 million? The next week is a blur. I go back to Boston. I teach my classes. I grade essays. I try not to think about the money or the lawyer's office or the look on Natasha's face. But I can't stop thinking about it. I Google Victoria. I read her obituary again. I look at photos from her life. There are pictures of her at tech conferences. Pictures of her and Natasha at gallery openings and charity events. They look happy. Or at least they look like they were supposed to be happy. I try to remember the Victoria I knew. The girl who stayed up all night coding in the computer lab. The girl who cried when we read The Great Gatsby together because she related to the idea of chasing a dream you can never reach. I wonder what happened to that girl. I wonder if she was happy in her corner office. I wonder if she was happy with Natasha. I wonder why she left me money. 1 month after the will reading, someone knocks on my apartment door. I am grading papers. It is Saturday afternoon. I am not expecting anyone. I open the door. Natasha is standing there. She looks different, less polished. She is wearing jeans and a sweater. Her hair is down. She looks tired. How did you find me? I ask. I hired an investigator, she says. I need to understand why Victoria did this. You are either lying about not knowing or we are both in the dark. I don't invite her in immediately. I just stand there, surprised. I told the truth, I say carefully. We dated in college. We broke up because she wanted the corporate life in New York and I wanted to teach in Boston. It was mutual, amicable. We stayed in touch for a while, but eventually we stopped talking. I occasionally liked her social media posts. That was the extent of our relationship. Show me, Natasha says. Your messages, emails, proof. I am frustrated, but I understand. If I were her, I would want proof too. Fine, I say. Come in. She steps into my small apartment. I can see her taking it in. The secondhand furniture, the stacks of books. The papers spread across my coffee table. This is a different world than the one she lives in. I get my laptop. I pull up my email, my messages. I show her everything. 5 years ago, Victoria sent me that article. I said thanks. That is the last contact we had. Natasha reads through everything. Her face is unreadable. Then she sits down on my couch. She deflates. I don't understand, she says quietly. She never mentioned you. Not once in 3 years of marriage. I sit down in the chair across from her. There is a long silence. Did she mention anyone from her past? I ask gently. Natasha looks up. Her eyes are wet. No, she said her life began when we met. I thought it was romantic. That sounds like Victoria, I say. She compartmentalized. When she decided on a new chapter, she closed the old books. Then why reopen your chapter in her will? Natasha asks. Her voice breaks. I don't know, I say honestly. But if you want to find out, Maybe we can investigate together. I want answers too. I want to understand why she did this. Why should I trust you? She asks. Because I am not fighting this, I say. I will give you my lawyer's contact information. If we find out I do not deserve this money, I will refuse it. I just want to understand. Natasha looks at me for a long time. I can see her trying to decide if I am telling the truth. Finally, she nods. Okay. That is how it starts. The investigation, the alliance. Two women who loved the same person, trying to understand why she left a mystery behind. We start with Victoria's old apartment, the one she lived in before she married Natasha. The landlord still has some boxes in storage, things Victoria never picked up. We go through them together, old textbooks, clothes from college, a framed photo of us from graduation. I am wearing my cap and gown. Victoria is kissing my cheek. We look so young, so happy. Natasha stares at the photo. You look happy, she says. We were, I say. She carefully puts the photo back in the box. We talk to Victoria's college friends. Most of them have moved away, gotten married, started families, but they remember Victoria. They remember us. One friend, Sarah, tells us that Victoria used to talk about me years after we broke up. She said you were the one who let her dream, Sarah says. She said after you, she stopped dreaming and started achieving. I always thought that was sad. Natasha and I look at each other. It is the first real clue. We spend weeks doing this, meeting for coffee, going through old emails, trying to piece together who Victoria was and why she made the choices she made. Somewhere along the way, we stop being adversaries. We become something else. Allies, friends, people who understand each other's grief. 3 months after the will reading, Natasha invites me to the apartment she shared with Victoria. She has not moved. She says she cannot bring herself to leave yet. There is one place I have not looked, she says. Her childhood things, in the closet. I could not face it alone. We go through the boxes together. There are photos of teenage Victoria. She is smiling, creative. This is before the corporate transformation, before the ambition took over. Then I find a locked box, small, metal. Do you have a key? I ask. Natasha shakes her head. We look at each other. Then we break it open. Inside there is a journal, medical files, and a sealed envelope addressed to Natasha and Jordan. Natasha's hands shake as she opens it. The handwriting is Victoria's. Neat, precise. If you are reading this together, it means I am gone and you have found each other. Good. Natasha, I am sorry I was not honest. 4 months ago, I started having symptoms, headaches, vision problems. I got tested, inoperable brain tumor, 6 months, maybe less. I did not tell you because you would have stopped living to take care of me, and I could not watch you suffer the way you suffered when your mother had cancer. I arranged with my doctor to report my death as an aneurysm. I wanted you to remember me vital, not wasting away. Jordan, I left you money because you are the only person who knew me before I became someone I did not recognize. You let me dream about teaching, writing, making art. I gave those dreams up for a corner office and stock options. I do not regret my choices entirely, but I regret losing myself. I married Natasha quickly. I was grieving my mother. She was beautiful and kind and everything I thought I needed. But I never gave us a real chance. I was always working, always chasing the next promotion. She deserved better. She deserved someone who is present. Maybe that could be you two. You are both teachers in your own ways. She teaches through art. You teach through books. You both loved me. Maybe that is enough foundation. The money is so Jordan can keep teaching without student loans crushing her. It is the dream I abandoned. Live it for me. Natasha, you have my heart. Jordan, you have my gratitude. Both of you have my blessing. Do not grieve too long. Love, V. Natasha and I are both crying. She is holding the letter with shaking hands. She lied to me, Natasha whispers, about everything. She was dying and I did not know. She was trying to protect you, I say quietly. I did not need protection, Natasha says, anger breaking through her grief. I needed the truth. I needed to say goodbye. She breaks down, full sobs, the kind that come from deep in the chest. I hesitate for a moment. Then I move to sit next to her on the floor. I put my arm around her shoulders. She leans into me. We sit there, crying together, grieving together. It is the first time we have touched. It is not romantic. It is just human. Two people who are broken, holding each other together. After we find the letter, things change. Natasha stops talking about contesting the will. She accepts that Victoria made her choice deliberately, for reasons we now understand. We keep seeing each other, not romantically, just as friends, people who are processing the same loss. We have coffee once a week. We talk about Victoria, about who she was and who she became, about the dreams she abandoned and the life she built. Somewhere around month 5, I realize I am looking forward to seeing Natasha. Not just because she is my connection to Victoria, but because I like her. She is smart. She is funny in a dry, understated way. She sees the world through an artist's eyes. I don't act on it. It is too soon, too complicated. We are both still grieving. Month 6. Natasha tells me she is moving out of the apartment she shared with Victoria. She says it is time. She has bought a smaller place in Brooklyn, a fresh start. I help her pack. We wrap dishes in newspaper. We fold clothes. We box up memories. She finds Victoria's college sweatshirt, the one from Boston University. She holds it for a moment, then hands it to me. "You should have this," she says. I take it. It smells like storage and dust and the past. Month 7. I use part of the inheritance to pay off my student loans. The rest I put into a scholarship fund in Victoria's name. It will pay for underprivileged kids to study computer science or English. Dreams and ambition. Victoria would have liked that. Natasha helps me set it up. She designs the website. She uses her connections in the art world to promote it. We are sitting in a coffee shop when the first application comes through. A girl from the Bronx who wants to study creative writing. She says she wants to teach someday. Natasha and I look at each other. We smile. It is the first time I have seen her really smile since I met her. Month 8. I realize I am in love with her. It hits me in the middle of a normal moment. We are walking through a bookstore. She is telling me about a Russian poet I have never heard of. The light is coming through the window and catching in her hair. And I think, oh no, I do not tell her. It feels wrong. Too soon. Built on a foundation of death. Month 9. We have dinner. It is supposed to be casual, but it feels like a date. We go to a small Italian place in the West Village. We drink wine. We talk about everything except Victoria. At the end of the night, she walks me to the train station. We stand on the platform. The city is loud around us. "Jordan," she says, "I need to tell you something." "Okay," I say. "I think I have feelings for you, and I do not know if that is okay. If it is too soon or too complicated or disrespectful to Victoria's memory. But I thought you should know. My heart is pounding. I have feelings for you too," I say. "And I feel guilty about it every single day." She laughs. It is a sad, relieved sound. "What do we do?" she asks. "I think we wait," I say. "I think we grieve properly. I think we make sure this is real and not just shared trauma. And then, if it is still there, we try." She nods. "How long?" "A year from her death," I say. "That feels right." "Okay," she says. "A year. We do not kiss. We do not hold hands. But there is an understanding between us now." Month 12. 1 year since Victoria died. Natasha and I meet at Victoria's grave. It is a cold day in February. The cemetery is quiet. We each place flowers. We stand there in silence. "I miss her," Natasha says. "Even though I am angry at her for lying, even though I have moved on, I miss her." "I know," I say. "Me too." "We both loved her," Natasha says. "But we love each other now too." Is that allowed? "I think Victoria would say yes," I say. "She basically told us to in her letter." Natasha smiles. "Leave it to Victoria to orchestrate our relationship from beyond the grave." We leave the cemetery together. We walk to a diner. We order coffee and pie. "So," Natasha says, "it has been a year. Do you still have feelings for me?" "Yes," I say. Do you still have feelings for me? Yes, she says. Do you want to go on a real date? I ask. Not a grief meeting? Not an investigation? A date? Yes, she says. I would like that very much. Our first real date is 2 weeks later. We go to a museum. Natasha gives me a private tour of her favorite paintings. She talks about light and color and emotion. I listen. I watch her. I am happy. At the end of the night, I walk her home. We stand outside her building. Can I kiss you? I ask. Yes, she says. I kiss her. It is soft, tentative. The beginning of something new built on something old. Month 18. We are in a relationship. It is not perfect. We both still have moments of grief, moments where we feel guilty for being happy, moments where we wonder if Victoria would approve, but we are building something real, something that is ours, not hers. I have moved some of my things into Natasha's apartment. My books are on her shelves. My coffee mug is in her kitchen. It feels like home. We are lying in bed one Sunday morning. The light is coming through the window. She is reading. I am grading papers. Do you ever think about the money? She asks. Sometimes, I say. Do you? I used to resent it, she says. The fact that Victoria gave you so much. But now I am glad. You are using it the way she wanted, to help kids who dream. I put down my pen. Do you regret this? I ask. Us? She looks at me. Her eyes are serious. No. Do you? No, I say. But I think we will always carry her with us. This relationship will always be complicated by how it started. I know, she says. But maybe that is okay. Maybe love is supposed to be complicated. I think about that. About Victoria. About grief. About the strange way that loss can bring people together. I inherited my ex-girlfriend's fortune. Her wife thought I manipulated her. But the truth was more complicated than either of us could have imagined. Victoria left us a mystery, and in solving it, we found each other. Not in spite of her death, but because of it. Because she saw something we could not see. Two people who loved her, who could maybe love each other. It is not a fairy tale. It is messy and complicated and built on a foundation of loss. But it is real, and it is ours. Sometimes I still think about Victoria, about the dreams she gave up, about the life she built and the life she wanted. I hope she knew in the end that she was loved. By Natasha, by me, by the students who will benefit from her scholarship fund. I hope she is at peace with the choices she made, including the choice to bring us together. Natasha reaches for my hand. I take it. We sit there in the morning light, holding on to each other and the memory of the woman who loved us both.